motherfucking powerful. I don't think the city of... happy birthday to Brianna.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Brianna Taylor.
Happy birthday, Brianna Taylor.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Just a reminder of why we are here and why we are going nowhere until they defund the police. 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 We are here and we are going nowhere until they defend black lives.
And if they don't listen, they can come in your house. They can come in your house.
Defend black lives. 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 End the war on black people. 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 Get police out of our schools. 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 Get police out of our schools.
Right there.
Reinvest.
Who gonna listen?
Reinvest.
Who gonna listen if the police ain't there?
Reinvest. Reinvest.
Okay,
hold on, man. Reinvest in ethnic studies. 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 End zero tolerance. Zero tolerance. End zero tolerance. End zero tolerance. End zero tolerance.
Do you want to listen or do you want to fight?
So let's get back to what we were talking about. So we're talking, so these demands that we're listing are the demands from Students Deserve, and they're also the demands for making Black Lives Matter in schools. It's a campaign that we do at the beginning of every February, and we have been doing it for the last few years. So here, the next one is hire more black teachers. Let me hear you. Hire more? Hire more? Hire more? Hire more? The other thing they're calling is tutoring. Tutoring! And academic counseling. Fund counselors, not cops. Counselors, not cops. Counselors, not cops. Psychologists, not cops. Psychologists, not cops.
department!
Defund the police department! Defund the police department! Defund the police department! Defund the police department! We are calling for community control over the police. Because the police don't make us safe. Let me hear that. Police don't make us safe. We make us safe. Police don't make us safe. We make us safe. Police don't make us safe. We make us safe. Police don't make us safe. We make us safe. Who makes us safe? We make us safe. Who makes us safe? We make us safe. Who makes us safe? We make us safe. Ashe. Ashe. Y'all are so beautiful and powerful. I just cannot say that enough. I cannot say that. The revolution is beautiful. The revolution is now.
We are so not done.
No.
We are so not done. On Monday is a memorial service for George Floyd and his family. This Monday is a memorial service for George Floyd and his family. Our entire Southern California Black Lives Matter region will be caravanning from across the region, headed towards Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles. We'll be leaving out from Long Beach. Long Beach!
Long Beach!
Long Beach!
Long Beach!
Long Beach!
Long Beach!
Strong Beach! Strong Beach! Strong Beach!
Strong Beach!
No. Y'all didn't hear me. I said strong. Strong Beach. We're leaving from Orange County. We're leaving from the Valley.
Black lives is not white lives.
You can't have any lives. We're leaving from LA. Black lives, we matter here. 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 Hey, Black lives. Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Monday morning! Monday morning! Monday morning!
Monday morning! Can we say Monday morning? Monday morning!
Can we say Monday morning? Monday morning?
Monday morning!
Monday morning?
Monday morning!
8:30 a.m. 8:30 a.m.
8:30 a.m.
Cal State Long Beach.
Cal State Long Beach.
Cal State Long Beach.
Cal State Long Beach.
The pyramid.
The pyramid.
The pyramid.
The pyramid.
The pyramid.
The pyramid.
We're going to show up. We're going to decorate our cars. We're going to caravan to the memorial in LA. Come with your signs, decorated windows. We'll be rolling out together. Anybody here have experiences with police violence? Anybody here have experiences with the police? I need 4 people who have had experiences with police violence. 4 people who've had experiences with police violence. 3 more. 2 more who have had experiences with police violence. 1 more who has had experiences with police violence.
I almost didn't recognize you.
We want to share the story. We want to be clear and reminded about why we are here. Everybody has had some kind of experience with Long Beach systemic oppression and violence by LBPD. Tell your story.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's up?
My name is Chris. I've been in Long Beach for 2 years now. I fucking love this city. Like, I love the diversity. I love the way that people come together. But one of the first times, within the first month that I moved here, I was working a full-time job. I was working full-time job and a full-time student. It was after a day of classes and after a day of fucking working. I gave another friend a ride home who is Afro-Latino. So you can imagine the two of us in the car together, you know, we already are looking around us. We're always like, it's like we're walking on fucking eggshells when we're sitting in a car. But anyway, we're turning down Santa Fe and we realized that the cops had started following us. They follow us for a good full fucking 10 minutes until we get to Long Beach Boulevard. And then right away they surround us. Every single, I kid you not, 6, 7 cops got out of the car with guns pointed at my fucking vehicle, telling me to throw the keys out of the car, throw the keys out of the car. So like, I'm not trying to grab shit because I don't know if they're gonna shoot or not. So finally I managed to work the garage, I throw that shit out, and they're like, step out the car, don't make no sudden move, don't make no sudden move. I get out the car, the first thing I see is a barrel in my face. So I stand up and I'm walking, and they're making me turn around. They're telling me, walk 3 paces to the left, walk 2 paces to the right, walk back 1 step, back up, stop, walk 3 paces to the left, walk 3 paces to the right. And I'm like fucking, you know, like, are you gonna shoot me if I fuck up? I'm a clumsy motherfucker. Like, are you gonna shoot me if I, you know? So they get me down on my knees. And they put handcuffs on me, and I'm asking, am I being arrested? And they're like, no. I'm like, excuse me, sir, am I being arrested? Like, no. They grab me, they put my buddy in handcuffs, they throw me in the back of the car. They have us there for 15 minutes. Scan my plate, scan my license, nothing. And then I even noticed the cops are just fucking laughing at it, and 2 cops even just left the scene because they knew that they fucked up. So then I asked them, what was the reason? They were like, well, we were looking for Washington plates and a white Ford that was stolen. I have Wisconsin plates and a red Honda Civic. So thanks for listening to my story.
Hey, oh man, bullhorn. A few days ago was the anniversary of a killing that happened in Signal Hill, Long Beach, called Ron Settles. It was the 39th anniversary. I was a little kid, and I got a few stories about that, but one of the major ones that really hit close to home is, I'm a kid. I grew up in the city around like, this is like around 83, like around 1983, 84. How do I start? So we're outside. These cops roll by, and they basically are saying, oh, we're saying hi to these kids. My mom leaves to get my dad from work. Me and my cousins are all outside. We go inside the house. We get a knock. And then, you know, there was the police at the door. I think one of my cousins asked for a search warrant, and my cousin wouldn't let them in. So basically they busted in. They hit my cousin, the mom, over the head with a flashlight. They hit my other cousin, her son, who was 15 years old. I'm around 7 at the time, over the head with a flashlight. They tore up my whole house. They went in the room, sprayed ketchup all over the kitchen and everything. I'm under the table hiding because I was scared, looking at my cousin with a gash in his head, and this cop putting his foot on my cousin. The thing is, dude, I'll say this. If there is any law enforcement here, you need to weed out all the ones that are really disgustingly terrible. Because a kid grows up and sees that, and that's not the only story I have. I'm not going to tell the other ones. A kid grows up and sees that, and they have a perception of law enforcement that's very negative. It's cool to see that you guys are supporting Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. There's so many others. There's so many to name. You know, it's overwhelming. Even from when I was coming up, dude, I lived through it during the riots. I've seen this stuff in my neighborhood growing up around East Long Beach. You know, I've seen people that I love get beat up by the cops. You know, ears sliced by fucking guns. Excuse my language. The thing is, everyone should just keep the perspective of changing where we are, you know? And I'm sorry, I'm like kind of without words. This is overwhelming. But you wanna make sure that you keep it idealistic. It's not just about destroying stuff, it's about creating and building. What are we going to do to replace that? We need a system of justice, like Neely Fuller talks about, a system of justice. Everybody should be producing justice in their own lives and as a collective. So I remember that from as a kid, and I'll never forget it. That's why I'm out here right now.
Hello. So my story of experiencing police brutality was when I was a child and I experienced sex trafficking. And you want to know who fucking facilitates that shit? Police. And they are not held accountable. You know what? If I fucking said something, I would have fucking died. I would have been killed and they would have fucking just covered it up. And right now, I'm going to take this opportunity to give my speech because I was asked to speak. And I am a survivor of sex trafficking, a survivor of police brutality, and I'm here to speak. My name is Olin. I come here on behalf of Students for Quality Education, Long Beach chapter. I am here to protest along with all of you against police brutality, which has been ongoing since the creation of the police force. I call for justice for George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Tony McDade, Nina Pop, Ahmaud Arbery, and every single black person who's lost their lives to police brutality. With our energy, we can create support and aid for the families and communities of those who've lost their lives to police brutality. We cannot expect justice from the system that divides and oppresses us with racist colonial rule. White supremacy and anti-blackness are at the foundation of American values on which American law and American society have been based upon since the birth of this nation. With our energy, we can create the change needed to establish equality for all of our people. We can attain justice for our people by dismantling the systemic racism that perpetuates the oppression of our people. The systemic racism at the center of the United States government. As long as justice is restored by the people, by all of us, our people will receive justice. I call for all of us to continue fighting our oppressors together. We must confront those in power who exploit and abuse people of color, especially black and indigenous people, for profit. I ask all of us to protect our community, to protect one another in these times, especially our black and indigenous siblings who are being targeted by police and other facets of systemic racism within this colonial society. Throughout history, reform of the law has only created an illusion of freedom and equal rights for all people. We still see systemic racism rampant in society, yet it is supposedly set in law that we are all equal. That is because the people who made the law, white colonizers, intended for the law to serve and benefit white people and to control and police the colonized peoples. People have been used by the government the police have been used by the government to drive Native people out of their own land. Police were used to catch enslaved Africans, and even after the emancipation of enslaved Africans, the police were used to criminalize the Africans of American society to become slaves to the state as prisoners. This still persists today because of the 13th Amendment that states that it is legal for criminals to be turned into slaves by the state. I call for reparations for black and indigenous people who lost their lives and our freedom to colonization because of genocide, issued the National Guard as well. Curfews have been put into place to strategically arrest protesters. And the curfew and the occupation of police and the military, they are not here to protect us. We are going to protect ourselves. The President of the United States is attempting to crush the people's revolution against police brutality and other manifestations of systemic racism in the United States. We live in a fascist government where we currently see that protesters are being abused, incarcerated, and killed by the police. We cannot speak out and act out against the government and their militarized forces without risking our lives and our security. The police and military protect the state and its private property over the people who speak out and act out against the state. We will not be crushed. We will live on as our ancestors intended us to. We will defend ourselves by any means necessary, as eloquently stated by Black revolutionary Malcolm X. The survival of our ancestors throughout colonization is a revolution in the form of their legacy and our DNA. The revolution lives in us. It is now our turn to keep the wheel turning forward. The system is crumbling, and the people who are at the head are afraid of our revolution. They're afraid of our power. We are uprising with such strength and love for ourselves and our people that it is so powerful and beautiful that it is feared by our oppressors. I ask all of us to call upon our ancestors to aid us in our struggle against systemic racism in the American police system, justice system, education system, and all other facets of American society. How can we learn from the past that our ancestors lived out and apply those lessons to our present-day struggles? How can we heal the intergenerational trauma that persists among the colonized people? Defund the police institution. Put money, time, energy, and love towards the families and communities who've been affected by systemic racism, the hardest, those in need of quality food, water, homes, and education, all the necessities. Let us continue to fight for Black people and Indigenous people, Two-Spirit people, and LGBTQI+ people who need justice and protection from police brutality.
Thank you. Thank you. We know that that was a little bit hard for folks to hear in the back. This has been pertinent, relevant information. It's all being recorded. It'll get circulated on social media. We have made our demands to the city of Long Beach. We have made our demands to the city of Long Beach all day. We are not going to stop until those demands are met. Let's be clear. We are not going to stop until those demands are met. Can I have our Black family, can folks make way for our Black family to come to this circle? Please make way for our Black family who want to come to this circle. If we have children, if we have all children who are still here, come to the circle. Jamari, that means you too. If we have children who are still standing right here with us, come to the circle. I'm here. You can come stand here with me. Come on, I'll do it with you.
Yeah.
I'll do it with you.
If you are under the age of 21, come up here.
Come
If
on,
you could be
y'all.
our Black, Latino, our Cambodian family, our Latino family, our Filipino family, where are those children?
To y'all, if she's not calling y'all up for anything, we're just going to do something called ASADA. It's an affirmation of strength, and we're going to close out, and that's going to be the official end of the BLM action. So we're just calling in the babies so that we can do ASADA. So if I can have everybody, all the youth, anybody under 21 who wants to join us, come join us in the circle in the center. I would really appreciate it. It really is. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. So we're going to do what's called does anybody here know the affirmation of strength ASADA? Does anybody know ASADA here, who's here in the center? Does anybody who know who ASADA Shakur is? Make some noise if you know who ASADA Shakur is. So we're going to do what's called the ASADA. It is the way that BLM and all of our actions and events. I am not really youth. I am a little older than that. But I'm going to help the youth lead this because some of them aren't familiar with it. So I would like you to repeat after me. This is an affirmation of strength. These words are from Assata Shakur, and yes, that is in relation to Tupac. That is Tupac's godmother. So if I can have y'all join me, we're going to say it in 3 volumes. We're going to start as a whisper, and you're going to think of it as saying it to yourself. Sorry, we're going to say it as a whisper, and we're going to think about the fact that we are saying that to ourselves. We are reminding ourselves of our power and our duty. And then we're going to say it in a regular talking voice, and we're going to say it as loud as we can and topple this motherfucking system. Are y'all with me? So I'm going to say it louder so y'all can hear me, but I want y'all to whisper first.
Really quick, family. So, as Sheila just said, we're closing out with this, but I want to invite folks who, if you are a couple of different groups who I'm saying this to. If you have children at home that you need to get home to right away, if you are differently abled, go ahead. I was losing my grip. Sorry. If you have medical conditions, if you feel any kind of risk, when we close out with this item, some of us are leaving who meet those groups, and so if other folks want to stay, feel free. But a few of us will be leaving, so I just wanted to make that clear after we close with this item.
Because, all right, so we're going to do the Asada, and so if y'all can repeat after me. It is our duty to fight for freedom. It is our duty to fight for freedom. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must love and protect one another. We must love and protect one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains. It is our duty to fight for freedom. It is our duty to fight for freedom. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must love and protect one another. We must love and protect one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains. It is our duty to fight for freedom. It is our duty to fight for freedom. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must love and protect one another. We must love and protect one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Ashe, y'all. Ashe. Y'all are so beautiful and powerful. I cannot say that enough. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up for Black Lives. Thank you. But let's not make this the end. Y'all are going to come out next time, right? Y'all are going to follow us. You're going to follow BLM on all of our social media platforms, right? So we're BLM LBC on Instagram. We are Black Lives Matter Long Beach on Facebook. We also have a Twitter that I don't fucking know. I don't do that shit. BLM LBC. BLM LBC on Twitter also. That's Dawn. But thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. And this is the close of the official BLM action. Anybody who wants to leave, I invite you to leave. Anybody who wants to stay, y'all are grown. Y'all are independent people, and y'all can do what the hell you want. But we out. Black Lives Matter! 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 Black Lives